Futures on the benchmark US indexes opened today with a 1.4% climb. The rally has been propelled by lifting or at least easing lockdown measures in some European countries and states in the United States. The liquidity market woke up, but this is not the reason for selling the US dollar. Oil prices are trading higher as investors hope for a revival in the global demand for energy. In the New York trade, oil prices rallied 10–14%. Meanwhile, buyers are holding the upper hand in the US stock market. The main US stock indexes closed in the black on Monday, despite a decline in the early New York trade. Today, Wall Street is following the uptrend. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained over 1% in the early American session. Investors cheer the news that several countries have been reopening their economies since Monday. Such developments encourage investors to buy riskier assets. The ongoing rally has not offset yet a slump in the previous days. Nevertheless, the fact of a bounce in the equity market inspires optimism. Analysts say that last week we saw not a trend reversal but profit taking as April closed with solid gains. The stock indexes have been climbing steadily, which is a good technical sign for equities. Traders are confident in their buying preference in the long term, so they are not just speculating on the latest news. Today, the US dollar initially reversed downwards amid growing appetite for risk. However, it regained footing later. Its index opened the New York trade with an uptick to 99.70, basically on the back of the euro's weakness. Today, market participants await a final services PMI for the US and a non-manufacturing PMI by the Institute for Supply Management for April. Traders were praised for negative metrics, though it's hard to predict the market response. One thing is certain: the market is set to trade under extreme volatility, which will affect mainly the US dollar. Besides, the US trade balance for March is also on investors' radars today. Contraction of both exports and imports could weigh on the US dollar. Today, Canada will also report on its trade balance. The Canadian dollar is a certain strength like other commodity currencies. The USD/CAD pair shed 0.35% since the early morning to trade at 1.4034. Today, oil prices are extending gains since yesterday. By the evening, WTI futures climbed almost 15%. So, they are trading at $23.45 in the North American session. Besides, Brent crude futures are ready to test and overcome the level of $30 a barrel. The American Petroleum Institute is due to release a weekly update on the US oil inventories. The global oil market is expected to strike a supply and demand balance in the third quarter. Oil supplies are likely to drop notably, but demand could increase as early as in May. In this context, Brent crude is projected to rebound to $43 a barrel by the year end. That's all for today. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and keep abreast of the latest events. See you tomorrow.